Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle for the first match preview of the season. Then Leicester City kick off their season on Monday night under the lights at the King Power Stadium as Tottenham Hotspur come to town in the first game of the season. The return of James Maddison, Harry Winks takes on his former club, and what a game we have got on our hands. And something we are really looking forward to, getting back to the King Power Stadium for sure. And can we go and upset Spurs on Monday night? That is the question. And welcome, Callum, to the chat. Hope you're good, mate. Hijack the Carabao Cup fixture is the King Power Stadium will take place at what's going on with the points deduction? I don't know what's going on, but it's going on to doing that, mate. I believe that's starting next year now. With what John Percy said, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't really get involved in old points deduction, that chat, but yeah, we're here to do a preview, and I'm going to be joined by Matt from Hawk Now Here Spurs podcast. If you're a Tottenham fan watching this, go and check them out. Let's see who else is in the chat. Callum, yes, I will be doing the predictions, mate, but let's get my mate in, my Tottenham Hotspurs, mate. Matt, how are you, mate?
How are you doing, Jack? All good, mate? All good?
I'm all right. Matt, plug your podcast, mate. Let everybody know what you do at the Hawk Now Here Spurs podcast.
Hang on. You want me to post it in there, do you?
No, if you let everybody know what the podcast is.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, boys. Yeah, so I think we need to put it into the chat. That's my excitement. No, so we do. It's a Tottenham fans podcast only, and it's called Hark Now Here Spurs. So we're on all social media platforms. We record our episodes after the games on a weekly basis, and you'll find it all over Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Music, like iTunes and that. So all on there.
Fantastic, Matt. Are you excited for the Premier League season then?
Oh, mate, can't wait. I feel like I've been waiting so long for this, you know. Hang on, sorry, mate. I'm just moving it around. I've been waiting. It's like you've been waiting so long for this now to get started again. Do you know what I mean? I know we've had the Euros and in the Olympics, but I'll tell you now, I didn't even watch any of the Olympics football.
Interesting. Talk to me about Spurs then. Obviously, they're the opposition come the game at the King Power. Expectations for Spurs last season? You finished 5th last season. I mean, is it one better off this season, finishing higher, or do you think you'd be round about there again?
Georgia, I feel like our squad has got much stronger. Like, we've got rid of players like Emerson Well. There's a couple of players also need to go. We've loaned out a lot of players as well that was on the fringe, like Brian Gill and stuff. Like, so these players now are going. So they're not like Postecoglou hasn't really got a headache where he kind of has to bring them on. And we've got better players come in, for instance, like Archie Gray. Solanke, I think, is going to be an unbelievable fit for Spurs. Like, I really do. The way we play, the high press and that, and like Solanke can get in behind. We haven't got to play Sonny through the middle. So honestly, I think Spurs could either have a really good season and probably finish 3rd or 4th, or I think we will just miss out again and finish 5th, but have a good cup run.
Yeah, I think Leicester's is about staying up this season, Matt, to be fair, coming back to the Premier League. Obviously, last season, you had the teams come up, didn't you? Sheffield United, your Lutons and your Burnleys, and yeah, they seem to really struggle. I thought Luton was the better side out of the sides that come up last season, despite relegation. I thought they gave it more of a go. What was your thoughts on the 3 teams that have come up now? Do you think it'd be more for the same of this season, or do you think it'd be more better for them sort of sides in advancing in escaping relegation?
I see Southampton being like Burnley. coming up to try the nice fancy way and stuff like that and just get pumped near enough every game. They're trying to do the right thing, but the Premier League's a different animal, you know. I think you guys, I would have put you lot staying up, you know, but I feel like your points deduction could possibly send you down if that happens this year, you know. And also, I think like going into the game, even against us, I think you've got like one fit striker or something like that. So I think you're struggling with depth in your squad. And like you know, mate, it takes a couple of injuries and you find yourself in an absolutely mess, you know. Ipswich, I feel like I've done some unbelievable business and they've bought literally every best championship player, ain't they? So I do think Ipswich are going to be good. They're going to be the Luton of last season where Portman Road is going to be an absolute tough place to go to. But I don't know.
I agree.
It's going to be hard. I think there's a couple of teams down there though, like Forest, even Brentford. I think they're going to be in the slug this year, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Ross said the Spurs are the underdogs going into this game.
Yeah, well, they're definitely the underdogs. Oh, Ross loves it. Listen to the geezer.
No, I think Leicester's transfer business are quite shrewd at the start. I thought we brought in some good players, you know. Fatawu signed a permanent deal. We brought in a Coley, Deco Dover-Reid, Michael Golding. You know, we signed Ndidi to a new contract, Jamie Vardy, Yannick Vestergaard. And then we've just signed Buonanotte from Brighton. I think he's made 40-odd appearances for them. So he's only 19 though, so I think he'll get better. But I just think going into the start of the season, Matt, I think we've really lacked in, obviously, attacking types of players. Obviously, Steve Cooper, first season at Leicester, you know, he'll obviously want to keep us up. He kept Forest in the league when he was there. But I think, you know, we're crying out for some attacking players, and to go into this type of game with only one fit striker, with Daka missing and Vardy, it's kind of like, you know, you've got to kind of like put square pegs in round holes. I think that's how I see this type of thing. But what Spurs' transfer business been like with Solanke, and obviously brought in Archie Gray? You brought in the guy from Burnley as well. Are you happy with the business? Do you think there'll be any more regarding Ange Postecoglou, regarding transfers?
I think Solanke will be unbelievable, mate. I do. I think he will hit 20-odd goals this season, like playing in all competitions. I do think Solanke is going to be a good fit. The way Spurs play, we create a lot of chances. We just need a goal scorer. And I feel like Solanke will do the business, you know. Like, he'll press well. He can get him behind. He's strong. And he's an Ange-type player. The guy from Burnley, I don't really know much about him, mate, but I've seen a couple of clips and I thought, I hadn't even seen this boy play before, but he looks all right. You probably know him a bit better than me, to be fair. But Archie Gray, he looks class, you know, and he looks like he's just going to get better and better. But do you know what it is with Spurs now, with the players that we've brought in, like Bergvall as well, unbelievable little Swedish gem, mate. And we've got Papasar, you know what I mean, still a youngster. I would like to fast forward these players 2-3 years and put it into this team now, because I think it would be an interesting take where Spurs would be. But some of these players are young, and we are building for about another 2 years. And I do think in about 2-3 years, we will push on. But I think our transfer business is good, mate. It's good. Given Spence, it looks like he's going to get another go this year. Do you know what I mean? With Emerson Royale leaving. I do think we're light on a left back. We've got Ndogi, but we do need another good backup left back because Ben Davies isn't the answer.
No. Talk to me about a player that we've obviously spoke about before we started this. Oliver Skipp has been heavily interested with Leicester this transfer window. Obviously, another midfielder like a Winks type of player. What can you give like an insight into Oliver Skipp? Obviously, I don't know if a move will happen, but Spurs wasn't really sure what they wanted to do with him at the start of the window, but now they're kind of like keen of maybe potentially moving him on. What's Oliver Skipp like as a player?
He's an absolute workhorse, mate, to be fair. Under Conte, he was the one of the players that shined, and that's why he's come through like the academy and stuff. So he's an absolute work rate. You're not going to get a 9 out of 10 out of Oliver Skipp, you know. Like, you're always going to get like a 7 out of 10, really. Like, you know what you're going to get. He's just going to run around the pitch. He'll make himself busy. He'll win key areas, win the ball in key areas, but it's his final ball. Can he pass? No, he's probably a sideways man. But look, mate, if we can cash in on Skipp and because we get 100% profit because he's come through our academy, then we got to cash in on him because right now he's not going to get a look in that Spurs team. Like we've brought in much better players in them areas now, and it's a big task for Skipp. You know, I like Skipp because he's one of our own in that, but he needs to move on for himself, and he'll be a good fit for you at Leicester.
Yeah. Hi, Jack. Hope we win on Monday because it's my 18th birthday next Thursday. Happy birthday for Monday, Tyler. Peter says, Leicester's team worse than the one that went down. God help us. Seems like some optimism going into the start of the season. It is concerning, isn't it, Matt, when you've not really got enough strikers to go into the season with. Obviously, we have been linked with Wilfried Zaha. We have missed out on certain deals for Reece Nelson. And we think we missed out on the Bayern Leverkusen striker as well. Schlozek, I think it is. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Leicester?
Do you know what, mate? Like, I know everyone likes to have a little banter between Tottenham and Leicester when, like, you obviously won the league and stuff and that. Like, yeah. I wanted to just throw that in there, Jack, before you beat me to it and about the third in the 2 horse race and that, because I knew the comment was going to come, Jack. I knew it was going to come, but I thought I'll just get in there first, yeah. So, look, I don't think you'll find a fan base rather than like probably your rivals that dislike Leicester. Everyone kind of likes Leicester, you know, and you lot was on some good things, you know, when you won the league and the FA Cup and that. You was in a good place going into like thinking, where's this team going to go, you know? And where's it gone wrong? Like, what is it? You run out of money, change of owners? Like, where's it all gone wrong? Because you was in such a good place.
I think, I think the real answer is, I think COVID hit us massively, to be honest. We lost a lot of money during that. And then we've paid bloody a lot of money out to bang average players on big wages, which is, and that cost you a lot, didn't it? I think we were sending more money out than what we were bringing in, and this is why we've got the FFP situation scenario right now, and that's where all the money's gone, you know. And it's kind of been hard bringing players in. I think last time we was in the Premier League, 22-23, we brought in fast that summer, and we never replaced Wesley Fofana, and in the hope that we did with the money that we got for him, but Leicester have always been shrewd, haven't they, with the players that they have moved on. You know what I mean? Obviously, you've looked at the Maguire, Riyad Mahrez, Kante, and them types of players, and Ben Chilwell, another one. And look how much money we made from them types of players, you know, to these big clubs.
No, I get it, man. Look, hopefully you lot survive, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe you need to survive, and then you get another batch of money, you know, and then you can invest heavily again next season.
Yeah, I agree. James says about John Rudkin. Yeah, Rudkin's got to take the blame, to a certain extent, but he's the man who sorts out the transfer deals and that. And it's not like it's like we're failing to get deals over the line that sometimes look 90% done, and it's like, how have teams done it in 6 hours, but it takes 5 days for Leicester to do it? And it's incompetence, to be fair, with the board with the whole bringing in transfers, and now I think we're quite slow on these type of things. Do
you think there'll be a lot of business done after the Spurs game? So, like, Spurs might sell you Oliver Skipp after Monday.
Yeah, potentially. Obviously, Steve Cooper did say in his press conference yesterday that he didn't feel that we'd bring players in before the Spurs game this week. He does want to bring players in the next 2 weeks and really strengthen this squad, because if we don't strengthen the squad, it's going to be a real challenge for us even staying up, you'd think, wouldn't you, with the squad we've got at the minute. Obviously, some say this squad ain't Premier League ready, to be honest, and yeah, I guess you'd kind of agree, to be fair, that it isn't. You know, it looks far weaker than when we won the league and that, and in the Championship, and obviously selling the Dewsbury Hall, who we've kind of like failed to replace. He was a massive part of that Leicester team last season, and to lose him to Chelsea.
Do you think you should have got more? Do you think you should have got more for Dewsbury?
Well, you'd rather kind of like put the price up to make them not buy the player, wouldn't you, to be fair? But you never want to lose your as the players.
because he's been one of your key players. He's a youngster coming through, you know. Like you're seeing, like Guy, like I know he's a defender and that, like potentially going to Newcastle for 70 million. You know,
Yeah,
like do you think? Because what did you sell him for 30 million to Chelsea?
40 mil.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say like an extra 5 million, but 5 million in football now is nothing, is it? Like, so you probably got round about that figure what you should have got.
I think at this minute in time, Matt, to be honest, Leicester would just take anything, to be honest, as long as we can bring the right players in. Obviously, Zaha's deal is kind of like, I don't think it's fully collapsed, but because of tax, it's kind of like, it looks kind of really unlikely that it could happen. And with Leicester, they've with Steve Cooper, he said that Leicester were close to deals not long ago, but then they had to move on to other deals because they couldn't get the targets that they wanted. And it's kind of frustrating, isn't it, that things haven't gone for us the way we'd hoped with other teams. You look at Ipswich, they're signing all these players, Southampton, and we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs at this minute in time thinking, are we actually going to get any attackers this transfer window? Because I think we're in desperate need of them. And it's a bit of a weird situation with us at the minute, but hopefully the board can actually go and sign these players over these next 2 weeks and get us going.
So it's kind of one of them things, isn't it? Like you wanted to get promoted, you've got promoted, but now you're thinking this is going to be a long old season.
Yeah, when we went up, you know, we'd hoped that we'd strengthen quite a lot this window. Obviously, then Enzo Maresca left, didn't he, to Chelsea, and you're thinking, oh my God, that's not the plan, is it? You know what I mean? You planned with Enzo to be in the Premier League with, and then Chelsea come calling, he ended up leaving. Then we brought in Steve Cooper, probably the only manager who's willing to take on the challenge at Leicester with the situation that we're in, and it's one of them.
What's your thoughts on Cooper?
Cooper, I think he just needs backing, to be fair. Obviously, I will be honest, he's not for the fan base's first choice. Some wasn't really keen on him because of, some would say, the Forest sort of connections and that. But we've had players in the past like Wes Morgan and Stan Collymore, Martin O'Neill, who succeeded at Leicester, and you know, so I think that's something we've got to put into the back of our minds. Obviously, he was there to do a job at Forest, and he's not a Forest fan. You know what I mean? He's there to force on Zaha on an absolute fortune, and Ayew creating a Palace front line, 2018. Yeah, Jordan Ayew's one who's been linked with Leicester. Obviously, Leicester bidded £4 million, I think, for him the other day. Yeah, some are quite not happy with that one either, to be fair, considering he's 33 this year. So, are Leicester getting a points deduction? Well, I don't know what's happening right now. It wasn't my first choice, but would have rather have had Graham Potter. What was your thoughts on Graham Potter, Matt?
Well, at Brighton, he looked like he was going to be like one of the next best English managers coming through, and that wasn't it. And he went Chelsea, and it just all collapsed for him. But I don't think you can really judge him on Chelsea because I think every manager that goes to Chelsea kind of fails at the minute, you know. But the only thing you can judge him on is he's left Chelsea, but why has he not gone back into another management team? There's all good saying taking time out and stuff like that, but I feel like he's taken too much time out.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going to happen regarding the England job, but let's get on to Leicester v Spurs then, Matt. Obviously, last time these two sides played each other 4-1. I think Bentancur scored for you. Did he matter in that game?
Hey, Jack, mate, your screen's gone all blurry, mate. Can't see it, mate.
Has it gone blurry? You only see things you want to see, don't you, Matt, when you're beating us? You don't like it the other way around.
Do you want to post up the other one when we bumped you a White Lane that season?
Which, we're not going to put that up. But no, what's your thoughts ahead of the game, Matt? We'll get on score prediction that later on. But what was your thoughts last time round we played each other? So Leicester was in a tough situation last time, weren't they, with the whole scenario of not winning games, and we really were struggling at the time. Spurs visited King Power Stadium. We went 1-0 down with Bentancur, and then somehow we found a really lease of life and ended up battering you lot.
Joyce, though, we was in a tough place that year as well. I think we finished 7th, that year, or 8th or something. Like we were shocking that season. But yeah, there's no excuses. We went 1-0 up, didn't we? And just got absolutely pumped, mate. Like, just fell apart. But this is what happens, mate. Like, you're not playing that same Tottenham team now, you know. Like, you'll see a different Tottenham team under Ange. Like, yeah, I ain't saying anyone could beat anyone in the Premier League, but
yeah,
we had like Royale and stuff like that there. Like, we got a complete different team now. We play with just so much energy now, you know. Like, I think it's a complete different Tottenham team to what you played last time.
Fair
Like,
assessment. Fair assessment.
Like, Ange has come in. Like, we've gone from playing the most negative football that we've done ever to now playing the most attacking football. I know, like, last season, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. But now, look, we're going into the second season. I know first game of the season, you can't really call it because the season doesn't really get started, does it, really, until about 6-7 games in?
No, I think, Spurs are, different types of players now. And you've got Van der Ven in there. I think he's a good player. You've got Son still, who, he always loves a goal against Leicester, doesn't he, Sonny? You've got different types of players, haven't you now, under Ange, different style of football, different preparation in how going into this season. But
it's exciting, mate. It's exciting. Honestly, it's exciting. Like, I'll be honest, if Ange doesn't bring us success, then my forehead's going to be going back more and more, mate, because my hair's going to be gone, mate, because I've put all my hopes in Ange to bring us something, mate, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Last 5 games at the KP, then, between the two sides in the Premier League. We've beat you twice. You've beat us 3 times. I mean, there's always seemed to be quite a lot of goals, aren't they, Matt, between Leicester and Spurs? I mean, what's your most memorable game, Leicester Spurs at the KP?
Hang on. I don't know. You went last 5 there, yeah? Spurs have won 7 at your place, Jack, yeah? Spurs have won 7 at your place.
I'm on about the last 4. 5.
Yeah, I think we've won 7 times at your place. You've beaten us 4 times at your place. We've got a good record going to your ground. I think we've only drawn once, I think it is, off the top of my head. The one, though, is... There's 2, really. One where you basically bottled top 4, didn't you, that year? And then Gareth Bale turned up and just crucified you. And then, but one of them was Steven Bergwijn, 2 goals.
Yeah, we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about that, mate. We're going to have you off in a minute. he's another player we've been linked with this transfer window, Steven Bergwijn. And when you mentioned to Leicester fans, it's that goal, isn't it? It's them 2 goals that he scored in a matter of seconds.
Absolute crazy, though. I thought we played well in that 90 minutes, and then just thinking, like, how have we lost this? And then just 2 goals in 2 minutes was absolutely crazy. But I remember growing up as a kid, and do you remember the strike from Mabazela, and then Freddie Canute scored like last kick of the game, and we beat 2-1 out of King Power.
Yeah, I don't really remember Spurs wins.
You might have been in nappies, Jack. You might have been in nappies then, you know.
Yeah, I remember the obviously the 4-1, the 2-1 when Maddison scored the absolute blinder of a goal. Was that when that's when Harry Kane scored that goal, wasn't it? What, were on the floor, and then he somehow managed to get it over Schmeichel. I was like, how do you manage to do that? But I hated it every time we played Harry Kane, man. He'd always score against us. No,
you're right, he did. But didn't we? Because we come to your place, didn't we? And I think we thumped you like 6-1.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting you off now, Matt. I tell you what,
but you know what though?
It's depressing wanting attackers in this window. Now you're bloody talking about you spanking us.
No, do you know what though, Jack? Do you know the 6-1 one? That's when Spurs. I used to really enjoy watching Spurs. You know, like under Poch. Like that days were the days, I used to love us playing, and then went through Mourinho and Conte here, and it was tough watch, man. It was a tough watch.
Ross remembers the 4-4 at White Hart Lane in 2004.
How did that go down? Who even scored in that game?
Ask Ross, he seems to know everything. Jesus.
You probably had like Matt Elliott centre back then, no?
No. I think we might have had Martin Keown on loan from Arsenal. It might have been that type of time. 2003 and 4 is when we went down that season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ross is obviously quite good with his football knowledge and taking us back to certain eras of the turn of football. But I'm going to ask you about two players. I want your honest opinion on both players. You can ask me certain questions if you want to. Foot in both camps. I've chose two players for you, Matt. Harry Winks, former Spurs player, and James Maddison, who is currently at Tottenham. I mean, talk to me about both players.
Harry Winks, man, honestly, when Ange come in, I think we bombed him off too quickly. Like, Winks was good under Poch, yeah, and then the Mourinho era just didn't quite cut it. He played a different way and he didn't suit Harry Winks. But I definitely believe we sold you the wrong player at that time when Ange come in. We should have sold you Skipp then, and we should have given Winks a chance, because playing on the front foot, Winks can turn and, you know, like on the ball, and he can make that forward pass, or used to call him sideways Winks, because he always used to pass sideways, right? But Skipp didn't really offer us nothing under he's not really offered us nothing under Ange, you know. So I do think we should have given Winks a bit of a chance, at least one season, you know. Like, but I definitely do think we sold you the wrong player at that time. But James Maddison, the ability's there. He's a great player, but when he wants to, he don't like the cold, that boy, though. Like, as soon as the cold comes, mate, he's definitely out injured for a couple of months, mate. He don't like that at all. If we get the Maddison that we got the start of last season, then he will be very good for us, yeah, and it'll be exciting, and it'll help us push on like to where we need to get to. But if we get the Maddison after he returned back from injury, I think he's in for a tough year, mate, because we've got such a strong team now where Maddison could find himself on the bench. I think this is a key season for Maddison, because if he performs how he did on the back end of last season, I think Ange will have him out by next summer.
Yeah, struggled quite a bit of injuries, hasn't he, Maddison? Maddison, you know, he's a fantastic player on his day. We're not even going to disagree on that, to be fair. I mean, the guy scored some very good goals for Leicester. He'd won the FA Cup and that at Leicester. And, yeah, what a player on his day. You know, he's injury prone and he's proven it Spurs. He can get injured quite like frequently and that. And it's like, you want to see the best of him, don't you? Obviously, you brought him for £40 million, didn't you, from Leicester? So
it was, but it was one of them ones we bought him, but then you paid 10 million for Skipp or something like for Winks or something, weren't it? So it worked out about 30 million.
I mean,
what reception's Maddison gonna get?
It depends. It's going to go off that end. It's how he left, innit? How he'd left the club. Obviously, he did say he'd help Leicester get back to the Premier League and this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden, it's like man jumped ship straight away. And it's Maddison played a part in that in the sort of the relegation season. And he went missing most times. And then he'd arguing with the media and that about but that's not true what you're saying, is it? And then he'd lose his head. And it's like, you know, I think to be fair, he didn't really help himself in the situation. Obviously, Maddison's not the only one to blame for Leicester's relegation. There's quite a number of factors why Leicester got relegated that season. You know, I think I don't know, could we say a mixed reception for him from Leicester fans? Obviously, you know, you see that at every club, don't you? Some will applaud, some every time they touch the ball, they boo him, don't they? But Maddison was successful at Leicester, but it was just a shame the way it ended in the relegation to the Championship. But
mixed emotions, yeah.
Yeah, it always seemed to me though, Matt. I think if we did stay up in the Premier League that season, I think he'd have gone in that summer anyway. To be fair, I think he'd have moved on. So I think either way, he'd have gone anyway, in my opinion.
What about when he bangs one in on Monday night?
Yeah, well, it's definitely getting booed, isn't it? You start predicting. You got your magic ball there, mate. You start, you know.
I'll tell you what's a weird one, because he's a Coventry lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And then obviously you and Coventry, like a bit of you're a derby, you know, like your rival.
Yeah, we don't really want to talk about Coventry.
No, so I'm surprised, like, he actually went to you and played the way he did, because, like, he's such a Coventry boy, isn't he?
He's not a Coventry fan, though, is he? Is he Man United or something? I don't
know. He come out and said that, though. On the back end of last season, when Spurs had that game with Man City, he said, I couldn't quite understand it, because I don't have the derby and the hatred like Tottenham and Arsenal have, because I'm like a Coventry fan. I think he come out and said that, didn't he, in his interview?
Yeah. Let's talk about team selection. I mean, I'll let you go first on yours. What's the formation? And I'd think he'll line up then. Obviously, will Solanke play? Obviously, he did talk about having a little bit of a toe injury, didn't he?
Listen, if he's got a toe injury, he better get on the pitch, mate. I ain't having a toe injury as an excuse. For his first game in, he's going to come in with a toe injury. I won't be able to deal with that. I think he'll go for Cario in goal. He'll go Pedro Porro, Ramiro, Van der Ven, and Ndogi. And then Basuma, obviously, the club have suspended Basuma for his incident last week. So I think he's going to go Bentancur, Papassar, and James Maddison as the midfield three. Yeah. And then he'll have Sonny on the left, terrorising whoever you got right back. Ricardo, is it?
Yeah, right. All right, then. You carry on thinking you're going to terrorise Ricardo.
Solanke up top, destroying like Vestergaard or whatever. And then I think he'll play Kulu on the right.
Leicester. Where do I go with Leicester regarding team selection? I mean, I can only go with one striker up front with obviously Tom Cannon. I think we'll go with like a 4-3-3 sort of team. I'd like to see Justin and Ricardo as the left back and right back. I think we'll go Fass and Vestergaard. I think Harry Winks and Ndidi will be that centre defensive midfield too. And then we'll have Bill Nonte and we'll have Fatawu, Mavadidi, Tom Cannon. That'd be Leicester's team.
That there smells like an absolute battering on Monday, you know. Joe.
It smells like it, but it might smell of a surprise, Matt. You know, you never know what you're going to get with Leicester. Leicester are one of them teams you can never really write off in any game of football.
No, to be fair, mate, look, first game of the season, first game back into the Premier League. Your stadium, it's under the lights. Your stadium's going to be absolutely rocking for that. And it wouldn't surprise me if you go 1-0 up, mate.
Last one. I'm going to ask you a score prediction.
7-1? Nah, 3-1. 2 or 3-1 Spurs. 2 or 3-1 Spurs. 2 or 3-1.
I'm going to go with I tell you what, I'm going to go with Desmond. I'm going to go 2-2.
I think it'd be a tough game. I think you could go 1-0 up. I think your atmosphere is going to be rocking on Monday. Yeah, it is. Because I feel like your team needs your atmosphere. So they need you as your 12th man. But I do think you could potentially go 1-0 up. And then I feel like we'll grow into the game. Or if we go 1-0 up early doors, it will silence your crowd. And then we could end up going to win like 3-1. But I do think Spurs will win 2-1.
Yeah, we've not had the best of pre-seasons, but, you know, I don't really read too much into pre-season sometimes, but it's about how you start in the league, innit, and where you finish. So, to be fair, I think it'll be a good game between the two sides. It always is, between both sides, you know, a lot of goals in it. And, I think a draw for me. I'd like to say 2-1 to Leicester, but I don't know, we'll see. Leicester might surprise me. Leicester might surprise me regarding that. I've gone for a draw. They might even consider winning, but we'll see.
Are you going to it, Jack?
Yeah, I'm going to the game. I think to be fair, Leicester fans are going to be annoyed with the board, aren't they? To be fair, going into the game, if things at the minute aren't great, you know what I mean. Leicester fans are kind of really frustrated regarding everything that's going on at the club at the minute, which is fully understandable, to be honest. And everything regarding Leicester at the minute is quiet, but hopefully we can really pick up the atmosphere on Monday night and make it a real good atmosphere and go and play a good game of football. But we'll see.
No, I won't be there, mate. I did have an opportunity for a ticket, mate, but I fly to Spain today, so obviously I'm away for our Leicester game and Everton game. So it'd be good, though, mate. Look, mate. It's always good talking to you, Jack. Do you know what I mean? But you're going to have to take the big L on Monday, mate, and we move on, yeah?
We'll see. Don't get too ahead of yourself. But no, it's good chatting to you, Matt, as always. Let everybody know what you do regarding your podcast then, mate, before I let you go.
Sorry, mate. What's that?
Let everybody know where they can find you regarding your podcast before I let you go.
Yeah, so Heart Now is Spurs. It's on all over social media platforms, and then we record after every match day, and then you'll be able to find the episodes on Spotify or Apple Music. But then obviously myself, I'm literally Kois Kerr on TikTok.
Yep. Cheers, Matt.
Jack, thanks for having me, guys. Good luck for the season, yeah?
Cheers, pal. You too, bye.
God.
Yeah, we'll turn him off before he says that. No, joking. No, thanks for Matt for coming on. Really great guest. And yeah, it should be a good game at the King Power Stadium. Looking forward to getting back, but never rule the Foxes out. You know, Foxes never quit. And yeah, it's going to be a real challenging season. Another roller coaster, Leicester fans, for the season to come. Let's see what happens. Let's just be the 12th man on Monday night, get behind our team and push us on as much as we can. And yeah, Steve Cooper's Blue Army. Thank you for watching as always. Really appreciate it. Go and check out my Premier League predictions for week 1, as I predicted the scores for that one with Football Martin. Thank you to everyone who's joined. Really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please get down and do so. It would help me out massively if you can do that. Hit the like button as well if you're watching this. If you're watching this on playback, let me know your thoughts ahead of the game as Leicester take on Tottenham. Take care, everyone, and keep it here at the Final Whistle. Hi all, thank you for watching the Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.